Today, we're diving into one of the most famous stories of ancient history, a tale that's inspired countless movies, books, and legends. But what if we told you that most of what you've heard is nothing more than a web of lies and myths? In the years before the Battle of Thermopylae, the ancient Greeks in the Persian Empire, led by King Xerxes I, were locked in a series of conflicts called the Greco-Persian Wars. These wars were sparked by tensions between the expanding Persian Empire, which controlled a huge area including Persia, and the independent Greek city-states. The Persian Empire, with its powerful military, wanted to expand its influence over the Greek city-states, known for their democratic systems and fierce independence. The Ionian Revolt from 499–493 BCE started the clashes when Greek city-states in Asia Minor rebelled against Persian rule. The Persian response was swift and brutal, leading to a long conflict. King Darius I, and later his son Xerxes, led Persian invasions of Greece to punish the Greeks for their support of the Ionian Revolt and to assert Persian dominance. The Greeks, however, resisted fiercely, leading to the famous Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE. Darius was preparing for another attack on the Greeks when he died, and the task fell to his son, Xerxes I. After taking the throne, Xerxes faced rebellions in Babylon and Egypt, but quickly suppressed them, restoring peace. Initially, Xerxes showed little interest in his father's European ambitions, but advisors like his brother-in-law Mardonius influenced him, arguing that Athens should be punished and that Europe was ripe for Persian conquest. Before attacking, Xerxes sent representatives to Athens demanding water and soil as a sign of obedience, but the Athenians refused, igniting the war. Seeing the Persian threat, the Athenians quickly sought help from neighboring cities. This time, the Spartans, who had missed the previous battle, responded positively. They proposed to lead the fight against the Persian army, with King Leonidas of Sparta commanding the forces. Leonidas chose the narrow Thermopylae Pass as the defensive position. With 300 Spartan warriors and 6,700 soldiers from nearby cities, they awaited the Persian army. The pass was so narrow that only a single carriage could pass through at a time. Xerxes I, known for his intolerance compared to Darius and Cyrus, excelled in military logistics. In spring 480 BCE, his massive invading force arrived at the Dardanelles, estimated at around 200,000 infantry and cavalry, 800 to 1,000 warships, and a massive support force totaling around 300,000 individuals. The sheer size of the Persian army contrasted starkly with the small numbers of Greek soldiers, causing fear and apprehension across Greece as the Persian threat loomed. According to Herodotus, it took the Persian army an entire night to cross a seven-arch bridge. First, a group of 10,000 elite soldiers, called the Immortals, all wearing wreaths, crossed over. Then came troops from various nations. The whole first day was spent just getting the army across. The next day, the cavalry and spear-wielding infantry, also with wreaths, followed. Sacred horses and a sacred chariot came next. And then Xerxes himself crossed, escorted by his elite soldiers and cavalry. Finally, the rest of the army, along with the naval equipment, crossed. This was the largest army ever seen, setting out to conquer Greece. As the Persian army moved through northern Greece, most city-states surrendered without a fight, fearing destruction. Xerxes expected this because his Greek advisors told him that only the strongest southern city-states, like Athens and Sparta, might resist. They also told him that Thermopylae, a narrow mountain pass about 150 kilometers north of Athens, was the best route for his forces to reach their ships. When the Persians arrived at Thermopylae in 480 BCE, they found a small force of heavily armed Greek soldiers, called hoplites, blocking their path. Xerxes delayed the battle for 4 days, hoping the Greeks would retreat. On the 5th day, he sent the Medes and Scythians to capture the Greeks. But despite heavy casualties, the Greeks held their ground. Even the elite Persian immortals, led by Hydarnes, couldn't break through the narrow pass. The Spartans, led by King Leonidas, fought bravely. They even pretended to retreat, only to turn and fight fiercely when the Persians pursued. After 2 days of fierce fighting, a Greek named Ephialtes, hoping for a reward, told Xerxes about a secret path around Thermopylae. Xerxes sent Hydarnes and the Immortals along this path. Under the cover of night, Hydarnes led the Immortals on a difficult 16-kilometer journey through the forested mountains. By early morning, they reached the top, where 1,000 Phocians were guarding the road. The Phocians tried to fight, but were overwhelmed by Persian arrows and fled. This allowed the Persians to descend the mountain and surround the Greek forces at Thermopylae, leading to their eventual defeat. Soon, Greek soldiers started to flee one by one, scared of falling into the hands of the Persian troops. Seeing this, the Greek commanders decided to retreat, but 300 Spartans and 700 other Greek soldiers from various cities, led by Leonidas, volunteered to stay behind. Their goal was to delay the Persian army so the rest of the Greek forces could escape and regroup. Leonidas and his brave soldiers held their ground as waves of Persian soldiers attacked from both the front and back. The Persians first launched a barrage of arrows from both sides, which was effective due to the crossfire. Then they drew their swords and charged. In a fierce battle, all the Greek soldiers and their commander Leonidas were killed. Contrary to what movies like 300 Inches portray, it was the Persians who stood victorious, with a hill of fallen Greek soldiers as proof of their triumph. Now let's discuss why the popular story of the Battle of Thermopylae is not entirely accurate. Exaggeration of numbers. The claim that only 300 Spartans fought against the massive Persian army is a myth. In reality, there were 300 Spartans plus several thousand other Greek soldiers from different city-states. Estimates suggest the Greek force numbered in the thousands, not just 300. Inflated Persian army size. The size of the Persian army is also often exaggerated. While the Persian Empire did have a large army, the exact number at Thermopylae is unclear. Ancient sources mention numbers ranging from 100,000 to 1 million, but these figures are likely inflated for dramatic effect. Complex motivations. The story paints the battle as a heroic stand for freedom against Persian tyranny. While the Greeks did resist the Persian invasion, their motivations were more complex. Some Greek cities had their own political ambitions, and the conflict was part of a larger power struggle in the ancient world. Strategic decisions. King Leonidas is often depicted as a legendary and infallible leader. However, his decision to fight at Thermopylae was strategic, aimed at delaying the Persian army to buy time for the Greek city-states to prepare a stronger defense. Biased portrayals. The story often stereotypes the Persians as savage and barbaric. It's important to recognize that historical narratives can be biased, reflecting the perspectives and prejudices of the time. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon with more stories from ancient Greek battles, so stay tuned.